Hello everybody, Candor here again with another tool review. So apparently the fine people at the Lexivon Tool Company must like me in my videos, since this time they have sent me a 14-inch hatchet for my thoughts and reviews. But before we begin, I would like to apologize. Due to a corrupted memory card, I do not have an unboxing video. And since I've already been using this hatchet for a while, it's no longer as clean and pristine as it originally was. So for now, we will just have to rely on some photos that I took. So let's start off with the basics. Now, the dimensions of this hatchet are 14 inches in length and weighs in, on my scale, at 1 pound 7 ounces. And the head only weighs in at 1 pound. Now this is crazy light for a hatchet and makes swinging this thing an absolute breeze. My mother-in-law, who has an exceptionally bad shoulder, can easily pick this up. It's pretty well balanced with the balance point just near the curvature of the handle next to the blade. And the blade itself is 2.5 inches wide, and the wedge angle, well, not extremely aggressive, but it does a good job, as you will see in a little bit. The plastic storage container is both a sheath and a carrying handle, which also gives you a way to hang this on the wall. One simply moves down the yellow safety switch, and the hatchet will come out, and slide it back up, and it is now firmly in place and protects the blade. And you can also hang it from a wall, as I think I've just said, from right here, or carry it with your hands. It also comes with a lifetime warranty. Now the length I think is a good size. Sometimes the smaller hatchets just don't allow for enough extension on the swing to get good leverage when you strike. But it also isn't so long as to make you feel like you don't have proper control. It is easily handled with one hand. And personally, I think a smaller handled hatchet requires you to be closer to your work when splitting kindling and such, making it a bit more dangerous, placing you closer to the line of fire should you miss. This is more of my own personal view, and yours may differ. The handle is hollow and made entirely of fiberglass that encompasses the head completely. There is no way the head is going to separate from the handle short of someone physically cutting this off. And I must admit, at first, I was a bit skeptical about the hollow handle. Lord knows I have broken a solid fiberglass handle on a sledgehammer before. But try as I might, this handle took all of the abuse I threw at it, and it still looks pretty good. The other thing that I noticed is that it has almost no vibrational feedback from the handle. It felt like a solid handle. And while it's always a good idea to wear gloves, I didn't feel as if I needed to wear any to protect myself from unwanted vibration. Now visually, this is a nice looking hatchet. The color scheme I think is fantastic. It's going to be pretty hard to not notice this if you lay it down on the ground or leave it in your toolbox. It stands out pretty well. Rain or shine, this will be easy to find. And speaking of rain, the coating on the blade is worth mentioning. Lexivon went with manganese phosphate, which is an active coating that penetrates the metal more deeply, is more durable, and will protect from corrosion longer. Now other manufacturers use a lacquer mixed with zinc. And while this gives the blade a nicer overall finish, it can scratch more easily and isn't as durable, while not protecting against corrosion as well. Personally, I think they made the correct decision here. I've been using this for a while now for various things, such as cutting firewood, cutting branches, and any other thing that I thought I could cut. The blade not only still has its coating, but the edge seems to have held up pretty well. I haven't noticed any blade chipping, which is one thing I noticed people had said about the competition. And while this isn't an axe and isn't meant to be used as one, I see no reason why you shouldn't be able to chop down a tree or two that one would normally use a larger axe on. I'm not saying you're going to take down a redwood, but this will take down a tree of about 1 to 1.5 feet in diameter, in my personal opinion. And it shouldn't pose much of a problem. While it might take you longer, personally I can't see why in a pinch you couldn't use this effectively. I went to my local home improvement center and bought a stack of hardwood for a campfire. I had no trouble splitting the bigger pieces into smaller kindling with one blow. Now, I'm not a big guy. In fact, I only weigh about 130 pounds, and I easily chopped it in a single blow. Now, obviously, this wasn't the case with every piece I split. There's a myriad of factors that come into play. And that being said, what I showed in the video is more consistent with the results that I experienced. After seeing that, I wanted to see just how easy the blade did cut through. The next test I tried to split another piece, but this time I deliberately did not go all the way through at once. Instead, I used the palm of my hand, without gloves, to pound the head through, and again I had almost no trouble in doing so. Now, not everyone is going to have the exact results I did. Some wood may be greener, some may have knots, the grain may not be straight, or there could be other factors involved. And even with that in mind, I was fairly impressed by the results. Not too shabby for a head that weighs in only at 1 pound. Now, where I live, there isn't exactly a lot of trees that I can go chopping down. And the ones that I can find, I'm pretty sure the HOA would not be happy if I did so. They seem to take great pride in landscaping around here, and having me randomly select trees to chop would be a huge no-no. I'm also not a big fan of chopping down trees that are in perfect health. So the only thing I could find was a tree on the side of my property. Now, this is a black olive tree, and they are known to be dense hardwood. I selected one branch that not only wouldn't be noticed too much if it were removed, but it also droops over onto my driveway. Now, a few things to note about this test. 1. By this time, I had already been using the hatchet for a while, so the blade wasn't in perfect condition. 2. I was chopping a branch that was slightly higher than my shoulder height, which wasn't optimal. 3. I was standing at arm's length away, so I wasn't at the proper distance, nor was I at a good angle as I was trying not to block the camera view. This was done so I could show that even so, I was still able to effectively control this hatchet and land almost every blow in the same spot with little effort. I still managed to get through that tough, dense branch in around 30 seconds, and it left it with a pretty nice clean cut as well. Now, my final thoughts. I was left more impressed by this than I thought I would be. For such a light hatchet, I think it performed pretty admirably. It's a great size to carry with you. Now, the weight allows for such thing as attaching this to a backpack without weighing you down. This is what I would consider a nice camping companion. It can be used as a hammer, chop, split, or even make tent pegs. It's easy to swing, and it's not going to tire you out quickly. About the only real thing I could have asked for is a slightly sharper edge. With a head this light, I think it could have benefited from a sharper blade. But even in its present condition, it performed very well. And as you can see from me cutting this piece of 20-pound bond paper, I was relatively impressed at how easily that it cut. Now, I'm not going to go shaving with this, but even still, it cut the paper a lot cleaner than I thought that it would. The coating on the blade seems durable, and the handle is more rugged than I had originally thought. Even with the usual amount of abuse, I think this would last a long time. And with the included lifetime warranty, it would be replaced outside of user negligence. And at about $20 to $25 US, I think it's a perfectly priced hatchet. It's another fine tool at a good price from Lexivon. Now, if any of you decide to buy something from Lexivon, please leave a review and feedback. They are a fairly new company, and I know that they would love to hear from their customers. Lexivon is always striving to bring its customers good tools at a good price, and they can't do that if they don't know if you like or dislike what they have. And if you like this video, be sure to like it and subscribe and click that bell icon to be notified when a new video comes out. And also be sure to check the descriptions below, as I will be leaving links in the description below on where to buy this and their other models, along with their link to the Amazon web store. And again, big thanks to Lexivon for allowing me to show you their tools, and to thank you for watching the videos. And until next time, have a great day, everyone.